G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR and welcome to my end of Jan team update. Now, big day, very exciting day for SuperCoaches today. It is officially open so we can throw away the old team picker and get into the real stuff. Start to create some of those leagues, which is always great. I will have a few leagues coming up this season. I'll drop the codes within the next month or so, I suppose. But yeah, super exciting day for us. And there are some major rule changes coming into the game this year as well. I was a little bit confused by them at the start. Still haven't got a great read on them, but I did put out about a 10-minute video a couple of hours ago just going through some of the changes and doing my best to explain some of them. So if you're still confused after reading the article yourself in the Herald Sun, make sure you check out that video as well. But look, I did promise that tonight I would upload a bit of a team update. Look, there's been a couple of players that have changed, but structure-wise, it's pretty much the same. But you will see a few small changes here and there from my original video when the team picker first came out. So, look, let's get straight into it. Look, my man Jakey Lloyd, Aaron Hall, those two blokes haven't moved. Lloyd, because he's just been so consistent for us for years and years, we did spend up for him last year, a lot cheaper this year for us, so I'm just going to lock him in such a consistent role. Look at his history. I don't think the Seagull let you down, particularly at that price. We've paid a lot more for him in previous years. This man, Aaron Hall, he just did not let me down. If you followed me last year, I'm just on repeat with Aaron Hall, but when I brought him in, I only went under the ton once, and I think I had him for about 10 to 12 weeks. Just a great stretch. He's got a great role. He's the absolute Seagull. Probably even more than a Jake Lloyd now, who is the technical original OG Seagull. But what I love about Hall is the fact that he doesn't just go the 1-2s, he can go the 1-2-3s. You know, he takes some kick-outs as well. They look to get the ball in his hands, a really attacking type backman. So I couldn't care less as a Supercoach owner if he defends or not. I just want him getting the ball, and he seems to do it most weeks. So I'm just locking this man in, Aaron Hall. One change that I have made, and in my original video, I was very close to locking this bloke in anyway, but I've dropped Lockie Whitfield, which does hurt. It's been giving me nightmares, this pick. And I have traded in Jack Crisp. Now, what do you like about Lockie Whitfield? You like his price, obviously. You think you're getting a bit of value there. You love his ceiling and you love his history. So one thing we don't like, unfortunately, is the durability. And durability for me this year in a COVID year is a massive thing. But in saying that, one of the rule changes is that we now get 35 trades. So should I be thinking differently about this and maybe going, look, I'll give Whitfield a chance? Because that's what worries me about Whitfield, is that durability, just these wacky injuries. You know, I'm expecting him, you know, before the start of round one to bloody step on a nail or something, or a bruised eyeball, something just strange and wacky that you just wouldn't expect. It's not a heap of soft tissue stuff for Lockie Whitfield, but there's always something, isn't there? So with someone like a Jack Crisp, you just know what you're getting with him, and he plays every week. You know, I think he's the most durable player in the comp, and I just love what this man does, and I think that he has the potential to be in the top 3 scoring defenders this year, particularly due to that midfield role. Now, am I going to say he's going to be the Rory Laird of last year? I'm not going to go that far, but I think he's got potentials there with that full-time midfield role. If you look at, you know, the top 20 defenders, there's not too many of these blokes that will be spending the large majority of the time in the midfield. Crisp is one of these blokes, so I have gone him over Whitfield just for the time being, because Hall, durability is a little bit dicey traditionally with him. Pretty good for the second half of last year. Lloyd, he's a really durable pick, so 2 out of the 3 premiums here, you should be able to lock in basically for 22 games, I think. Now, it does worry me, though, with my structure here, that I go straight to a first-year rookie in Josh Sin. So, look, that's not ideal. Will we have to get 4 backs? I'm not too sure. If we do, it's probably Lockie Whitfield that comes in for me, but I just don't want to change anything in my midfield, which I'll get to in a minute. But quickly, Josh Sin, Brody Kemp, 2 blokes around the same price point. Sin is a highly rated rookie coming in this year. Look, will he be highly rated in Supercoach? I'm not too sure. I'm not even about job security, to be quite honest, but meant to be a lovely kick. I was a big fan of him in his draft year as well. When I say his draft year, he's been, had a few injuries, but yeah, I'm a fan of Sin, so just lock him in for now. When I say lock him in, chuck him in for now. Same as Kemp, second year rookie, first year was derailed with injuries, but a pretty highly rated youngster, so I'll chuck him in. O'Driscoll, I've been hearing some okay things about it. Freo, McDonough, does he play? I'm not too sure, but again, got a lovely boot on him. Hope that he somehow gets a spot. Charlie Dean, just a bit of a cheapie there as well. So that's the back line in a nutshell. Now, the midfield. So I've gone still, bit of a preview of the forward line. So I've gone, we'll just start here. I've gone the 5 big dogs. These guys have not changed. If you watch my Q&A session, I talked a lot about these blokes, so I'm not going to give you a heap of info about them now because you probably know everything that I'm going to say. But Jack McRae, his history, he's just the man in Supercoach. Last 4 years, take a look at his average. I'm just starting him this year. I didn't start him last year. I was spooked off, not making the same mistake. I'm locking in Jack. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many times he was either my captain or vice captain last year, but he really, really helped me out. Love the pick. We pay up, but we pay up for a reason. This man, Jack Steele, 685,000, really expensive, I know, but last 2 years, he's gone the 120 plus, 125, I think it was, last year. Just does everything, this bloke. Contested beast. When he's not getting the ball, he's laying 25 tackles a game. So I just love this selection. Young gun coming into his prime, locking in Jack Steele. Same as Tuke Miller. If you haven't already, which I'm sure you probably have by now, check out my player profile on Tuke. It does go for about 15 minutes. Give you everything you need there. Massive fan of him. Handles the tag really, really well. Don't think Greenwood out's going to affect him. The hardest work in the AFL, does a lot off the ball, gets from contest to contest. Massive fan of Miller. Same as Piggy Oliver. I've had him for the last, I don't know how many years as well. From his second year as Supercoach, he's just been an absolute beast. I don't think anything changes. Don't think he slows down. Just an out-and-out superstar in Supercoach's Clary. And then Lachie Neale. Well, look at the price we're getting him at. 543,200. You're comparing that to a Steele, 685. It's a 140 grand discount, and he has done what Steele's done last year, plus some. Remember that 130 plus season average. So Neale, is an out-and-out uber premium. Last year just derailed by injury, and everything this year in the preseason points to him being absolutely cherry ripe. And we saw what he did in the last game of the season, or was it our last final against the Dogs? I think he broke the record for disposals for 2021, or equaled it at least anyway. So that's what this man can do. I'm certainly not going to miss out. Now the next blokes here, I've got Berry, Dacos, Clark. Now Jared Berry was an absolute lock for me, but with some of these rule changes now, the issue. Sorry, I'm butchering this, aren't I? The issue that I'm having, I'll just give you a look at the rest now anyway. The issue that I'm having with Berry is the fact that maybe I need to invest that money somewhere else. I can probably afford to have another cheaper midfielder here in this position, given the fact I'm going 5 deep already with the Uber premiums. I'm really not too sure on Berry, but I'm really sold on the pick. Comes at a great discount for what he can produce, I think. I rate him as a Lions supporter. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that pick. Everyone's got Dacos, don't need to talk about him. Greg Clark, another mature age player from West Coast. Yuland I've heard good things about. I think he's a bigger bodied type young midfielder at the Suns, been doing some okay things during the preseason apparently. Roberts there was a Supercoach machine in his junior days. And I've got Butler currently as a potential loophole. I won't go through that strategy now because I did make an entire video on it. But make sure you check that out if you want to know a little bit more about my loophole strategy this year. I'm trying to get the best of both worlds there, possibly with a Sam Butler. May not be a Butler, maybe someone else. Into the rucks. So this hasn't changed either. I'm going the two big boys. Was flirting around stupidly for a week or two thinking, can I save a little bit of money here? Rowan maybe. Haven't really considered a Big O, but one of those types. A Bruce type, a Lynch type. Nah, I'm not making mistakes like that. I'm setting and forgetting, and I'm not worrying about these two. Look, durability for Darcy may be a slight concern, but look at his ceiling. And to be honest, if he does get injured, I can trade him to really any other ruckman in the comp. So I'm starting with these two big boys. Don't think that'll change. And then Sam Hayes, he's currently my R3. Hopefully he gets a game. Will he? Won't he? Not too sure, but I think he's a pretty popular R3 for most people at the moment. And the forward line. So my man Josh Dunkley, he will not move. He's just going to stay there. Even as a forward, I think he still scores okay even for the price. DPP status available on a forward line. It just makes sense to select him. This man started to worry me a little bit with new rule changes. Potentially if we get someone like a Nathan Fyfe who gets given DPP status round 6, round 12, whatever, who else knows who may get it as well, then Butters may become a little less relevant. But at this stage, I'm just going to stick with him. But once I get a little bit more of an idea, a better idea about these new rule changes, I'll take everything into consideration. He is now not a lock for me. He is someone that may move. He's a piece in my team that may move now. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Zach Butters at the same time. This man has just made his way into my side, and again, certainly not a lock. It was actually Charlie Curnow for a little while. I flirted with some other players there, Will Brodie type. Is a Mitch McGovern going to be a shout if he goes into the back line? Probably not, but you got to think about these type of blokes. Cam Rayner around the same price point, so this spot is very much up for grabs in my side, but I feel like I probably need someone there just to add a little bit more security, I suppose. Now, when you talk about security, he's far from a lock pick, Coleman, but he's been lighting up the preseason in the A side, and his role has been that running half back. Apparently, he's put a lot of pressure on still, so he's still defended really well, but then got on the end of the football. They've looked to get in his hands, and apparently he's used it really well, using his pace out there and attacking off half back. So, 263,000 with defensive forward status, and I've actually got Skinner on the bench now on my forward line. Could just switch him back. Yeah, something I definitely may look to do, I think. But look, not a lock, but I'm really liking what I see from Kitty Coleman. And look, the SuperCoach history won't suggest anything special, but he hasn't been playing the role that he's looking to go into this year. So, bit of a risky selection, but at 263 in my forward line, I may be willing to take that risk. But this is very much a piece that will move, I think. Cogs everyone's got, so we won't move. Finn McGuinness. So, I've heard that Sammy Mitchell is a bit of a fan of him. Raided him last year, had a lot to do with him when he was playing for Box Hill. I think he may have played some defensive roles even, I'm not too sure. But I think that he may be best 22 this year. So for now, he's in. We're paying 143, I know that. But remember, a bit of a bigger body because it is his second year in the system. Had a fair bit of experience in the VFL last year. Yeah, looking to kick goals, I think, this year. Finn McGuinness. Elijah Hollands, everyone's got. So 123,900. If he's fit, I can't see how he doesn't play round one. But yeah, fingers crossed that he does. I think 90% of the teams that I've seen have had him. Then I've got Skinner and Charlie Parker there. So does Skinner even play? I'm not too sure. But if he does play, he will play down back. How's Trent McKenzie going? I don't know if there's a chance maybe he takes that spot. Not too sure. And Charlie Parker, is he going to be the Scott or McNeil from last year? Possibly, because mature age, he has been training really well, I've heard anyway, in the preseason. So I've just popped him there for now. Now, the issue for me is with these rookies, I've got Ulam there, 102, Parker 102, and then I've got a Dean at 102 with only the 2,200 left. But, one of these blokes can easily move as well. One other thing that I have changed as well, no, I haven't changed it, is the fact that I think DPP this year is going to be really, really important, particularly during a COVID year. Each and every year I think it is, but particularly this year, we'll need as much flexibility as possible. So I've obviously got the mid-forward links there. I've got the defensive mid-links going back there. So, you got your Sin, even if I get a Whitfield, chuck him back there as well. And the other thing that I just recently changed was chucking our Skinner into my forward line, but originally I had him down back. So I basically had every DPP swing that I could apart from that ruck forward, and I just don't rate any of the ruck forwards this year. So, look, I might just leave it there, guys. I just want to smash out this quick one because there's still a lot of things that may need to change here. Structure-wise, the rookies always dictate that, as we always know. I repeat that a lot, I know. The new rules, that may change the way that I think about certain players or structure or certain positions, the way that I'm going to go with possibly stepping stones, those mid-prices, I'm not too sure. So a heap of water. There you go. When I get to the end of the videos, I'll start to butcher it. So a lot of water to go under the bridge as well. But we'll just see what happens, guys. But that's a team for now. Happy to take on your feedback. Let me know what you think. I didn't talk a heap of strategy here or go into a great amount of detail. But yeah, I definitely will during the preseason. Spills and I are going to get the SuperCoach Swordplay podcasts up and running again. All my socials you find down there in the video description as well. So feel free to follow me there. As I said, I'll be getting some leagues up and running, which will be cool. Some SuperCoach with DR ones, a couple of cash leagues, and a couple of sort of ideas out the box that I was thinking as well. But yeah, I'll just see how I go with that. But that's a team, guys. Hope that your team planning is going well. Happy SuperCoach Day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.